Hello, and thank you for being a volunteer at this year's Startalk Chinese Summer Language Camp. This brief training video will walk you through the purpose of the Startalk Camp, expectations we have of volunteers, and also get into some of the details, some of the questions you might have regarding scheduling and community service hours certificate. When you get done with this training, please come find one of the camp leads and we'll do the final steps with you. So, let's begin. The purpose of the Startalk Camp is to increase the number of people in the United States who can speak critical languages, and Mandarin Chinese is one of those languages. The way learners are going to experience Mandarin at the camp might be a little bit different than what they do in the normal classroom. Since we have longer periods of time, we can do more hands-on, highly engaging activities that are really culturally rich for the students. So overall, our Startalk Camp is to continue the learning that our elementary students at Dixie, Meadowthorpe, Veterans Park, and at Tates Creek Elementary have the experience. So we're going to expand on those campers' Chinese knowledge through this summer camp. Our camp is growing. This is our 8th year, and we have 112 campers registered. Because we have so many, we actually expanded the number of classrooms. So this year we have 6 classroom teachers. For each classroom, there's a teaching assistant. There's 1 instructional lead, 1 technology lead, 1 camp coordinator, and 1 camp director. But you, the camp volunteer, you are the star. Without you, things would be a little difficult. So we're really looking for volunteers who can help out the teachers and help the campers with their language growth. And thank you. One of the things we want to point out is the students here, their language is anywhere from novice low up to novice high, intermediate low. What that means is a camper who's novice low, they're probably saying singular words like dog, cat, red, blue. They might have a memorized phrase in their head, like my name is, but their language is at very small chunks, what you're going to hear. When you hit novice mid, those language learners have a little bit more of expansive vocabulary. They're able to start to put together kind of memorized sentences, such as I like, and fill in the blank. Blue, I like hamburger. And they might be able to start to ask some simple questions. The novice high and intermediate low speakers are ones who can create with the language. They're starting to put their own thoughts together, such as, I like to read and watch TV. They'll also be able to ask some questions like, where is the pencil? Do you have my pencil? So I just wanted to explain that. So whatever room you might be volunteering in, if that's where your role will be, it kind of helps you know the kindergarten and first grade students are going to be in the novice low, novice mid range. The 2nd through 3rd, 4th grade will be in that novice mid, creeping up to novice high, and then our 5th grade students will be in the novice high, intermediate low. For our volunteers, we do expect you to speak Chinese at all times. If you are near or in a room with a camper, Chinese must be spoken. If you cannot say what you want to say, don't say it. If you need to communicate with teachers, you can write them a little note in English, and that's okay, and pass it to them. But again, English is not to be spoken during the camp, and we hope that you respect that. Please follow all the teachers' directions. So if there's an activity going on and you're supposed to be helping, make sure you follow the directions. You're a model for the students, and they're going to be watching what you do. So keep that in mind. Be proactive. If you see there's something you can do, do it. Anything you can do that helps out is wonderful. If you have to be asked to do something, that's okay, but we'd love for our volunteers to kind of be one step ahead and helping out in such a way. Make sure you're a support for the campers. That's why you're here. So anything you can do to help a student learn more is greatly appreciated. Make sure you're always positive with the campers. Even if you've been trying to help little Bobby and he's just not getting it, stay positive. And if you do feel yourself kind of getting a little frustrated, move away to a different task or different student. When you are working with campers, remember, they need lots of visuals and you modeling what you're saying. So if your Chinese is above the students that you're helping, make sure you have that pencil in hand as you're saying the word pencil and you're pointing to it. Or maybe when you give really simple steps that the teacher has given and you're restating them to a camper you're working with, you model what you're saying as you say it. Just try to help the campers understand what you're saying. Maybe you'll be asked to help make materials. We have wonderful things happening and they do take a lot of time. So if you are asked to cut out or glue or color, please do so with a smile. We will have a lot of young campers who might not clean up well after themselves. So if you can, please help clean up after our students. Your hours of volunteering are between 9 and 2. So we respectfully ask that you come around 9 in the morning or whenever you've scheduled yourself. Maybe it's 10, maybe it's 11, but you do need to leave when the campers leave at 2. I'm very sorry, but there's no exception to that. Now, some things you might want to avoid as a camper, and I hate to use the word do not and no, but I'm going to have to do that here. No English. Again, no English. If you are around a camper, no English is allowed. If you're coming in the office area to come talk to one of the leads, please speak in English to us. But otherwise, you need to speak in Chinese around the campers. We're going to be having food service. There'll be a breakfast that's served to students. There'll be a lunch that's served, and there'll also be a Chinese meal day in which we're bringing in Hunan restaurant. Unfortunately, you will not have the training to serve food, so I politely request you do not serve food to students. The teacher and assistants can take care of that. Do not make copies, no matter how tempting, or if a teacher or assistant forget that you're not supposed to, just nicely shake your head and say no. The copy machines are something that are very valuable to Tates Creek Middle School, and we need to respect that, and it has to be a faculty member making copies. Never, ever, ever should you be left alone in a classroom with students. So if a teacher needs to step out, the assistant should still be in the room. If the assistant needs to step out, the teacher should be in the room. So we will not put you in a situation where you're left alone with students. Do not have cell phones, earbuds, or electronic devices out. If you want to do that, please do that before or after you come. So there is no place for cell phones, earbuds, or electronic devices to be out while you are volunteering. Remain respectful and calm with students, and I kind of mentioned that back on the last screen, but at times it can be frustrating trying to help someone understand what you're saying, and make sure you speak respectfully to our campers. If you have any concerns or questions, please don't hesitate to ask. If you're seeing something in the classroom that kind of I don't know, a little yellow flag's going off in your mind, please let a teacher know. And also remember that you're a lot older than our campers, and be careful on your behaviors and actions you do. So no distracting behaviors for our campers. You're to be a helper in the room and not someone that distracts students. When you come each day, we have a binder that's located in the Startalk office. You see a picture of it on the left. Go in the binder and you see on the top where it says VOLs, volunteers. Go to the volunteer section, and if you let us know you're going to be a volunteer, you already have a page set up, a timesheet for you to fill out. And this will help us just document how many community service hours you're giving. If you did not let us know, we probably don't have a timesheet set up yet for you, and we'll take care of that once you get done with this training. But if you look at the timesheet on the right, for example, if you're volunteering on the first day, Monday, June 5th, you would sign your name and you would put the time you arrive. So maybe you're scheduled to arrive at 9:30. So in the column that says time in, you would put 9:30. If you're going to leave at 12:30, put time out 12:30 and then initial when you sign out. If you are there long enough for a lunch, so 4 hours or more, we'd like you to take your 30-minute lunch, please. and we'll put the total on the right. Don't worry. So just do the time in, time out. Make sure you sign and put your initials. When you get done, on the bottom of your timesheet, and this example doesn't have one, so look where the yellow arrow is, and we will have it on there. On the bottom of your timesheet will be a question that says, would you like community service certificate? Yes or no? If you check yes, please put your address, and at the end of camp, we'll figure up, the week after camp, we'll figure up how many hours you did give to the camp, and I'll send you a community service certificate in the mail with a thank you letter. So again, if you want community service hours, we will send those to you, but you'll need to give us your mailing address on the bottom of the Startalk timesheet. And the timesheet you're going to use will have a place that has that for it. Finally, in the Startalk office, when you walk in on the right, is this wonderful calendar. There's going to be many important things on this calendar. So we politely ask that you do not write on it. Have one of the leads write on it. But on the calendar, when you do come in for this training, you're going to tell one of us, okay, I want to work the first week and I can work from 10 to 1 every day. So we're going to put your name, every day you're working, 10 to 1 next to it. What that does is it helps us be organized, so we know you'll be there that day. We'll tell the classroom teacher you're going to be helping that you're going to have this extra hand. Their name is Bobby, and Bobby will be able to do these things for you. So if you do have a change in your schedule, please let us know as quickly as you can, because we're really going to count on you being here. And if you do see a day where there's tons of volunteers, if you want, you can maybe search for a day where there's not as many. But we will take as many volunteers as there are. One thing I do want to note is if you are here during lunchtime, so 11:30, 12:30, we will be taking our campers out for the free lunch that's served under the awning between the high school and the middle school. And you are welcome to have that lunch. We will order enough lunches for the volunteers we have scheduled that day. So again, you will have a free lunch available to you on days you volunteer and have it scheduled. If you have any questions about that, don't hesitate to ask me, Laura Roche. Shushu, thank you, as I'm learning Chinese. I hope I said that correctly. And I look forward to meeting you. At this time, can you please turn off your computer, log off, turn it off, and then proceed down the hall behind the main office, and you're going to see all the Startalk classrooms. In the Startalk classroom area, there is a room that's labeled office. Please come in there and find one of the leads, and we will schedule you and have you sign our volunteer sign in and sign out form, because coming in to get trained, that counts as community service hours. Thank you again, and thank you for being here and helping us make this year's Startalk a wonderful experience.